Hi everyone, it's Sortar here, and today I'm going to review a new product, Scale Color Games. A quite interesting new set of paints with pretty unique features. So let's start. So what we have here, this is a new product specifically targeted to wargame painters from beginner to advanced. The key feature is that the paint is ready to be used straight out of the pot with your brush and with your airbrush, which is quite interesting. The set is quite big, 48 different paints. The finish is a matte, not glossy whatsoever, and they will dry to a long-last strong surface that will allow you to handle your minis while playing on the tabletop. So what we're going to do to test this new set and see how it works, well, I'd like to start in a traditional manner. I prepared some swatches to show you how they look basically, especially the pigments. They are quite vibrant. I'm pretty impressed with them. I will show you the paint over white, how they cover over black, and a gradation, since some colors are very dark straight out of the tube, but they can be diluted to show their real hue and intensity. After that, I'll paint a mini and see how they work in action. So let's see. So I will show you some paints, not the full set, but quite a big bunch, 24 colors out of 48. The paints are quite fluid and it was expected. The white have a medium coverage. It's not the cover of heavy body paints, of course, but the high pigmentation helps to cover even with such a fluid paint. I will show you some reds that are usually the most weak paints in terms of coverage. As you can see, they do a pretty good job. Of course, pigments have their inherent properties, so they can cover. Some are more transparent by nature than others. I particularly like this type of scarlet orange. You can, of course, read all the names of the paints in the Kickstarter campaign. If you notice some gray in the final gradation, don't worry, it's just the background poking through. Nice skin tone paint. A nice magenta-like paint that, as you can see, starts very dark since the huge amount of pigments, and this means also that they don't add white in the paint, which is a very good thing because you can obtain the strongest saturation out of your colors. And they have also really nice greens, browns. I'll show you some really quickly. You can decide for yourself what you need and what you prefer. can see they dry matte, no doubt about it. If they don't cover perfectly, keep in mind that these are quite fluid paints, so it's totally normal, and with 2 passes you can really cover everything with almost every paint of the set, and with many of them also with just 1 pass, frankly. Okay, enough swatches, it can be boring stuff, let's paint a mini. I'm going to start by testing the paint on the airbrush. As you can see, I diluted it a little bit since I don't want the full strength of the paint here. Look at the fine pigments flowing beautifully into the water. If you're interested in how to paint this miniature and how to paint in general, just check out my Patreon, you can easily find my link below. Here I'm using my favorite paint of the bunch I've got, which is a nice warm honey yellow, and I want it to be the main color of my atmosphere. I'm going to try and glaze it, and I am pretty impressed with how the pigments are fine and also how they evenly spread with just a bit of water. Let's see how they mix, and they mix fine as expected. I'm using the paint straight out of the tube here. I encourage you not to add water if you want the paint to cover, since they are made to function straight out of the tube. Let me show you it better with a picture. Now I'm trying the paint straight out of the tube into the airbrush. Look how beautifully matte it dries. Okay, I think it's enough. If you want to see the full process, just check the Patreon. And now I want to show you a little surprise. Metal and alchemy. Scale75 was so kind to send over also a set of their metallic paints. I am not quite used to such technique. I don't really use metallics in my miniatures, but these paints are really great. I love how they cover easily and thoroughly, and also the fine pigments. I've tried some metallics in the past, but I wasn't really happy with them. But now that I have a set and they are cool, I will try them and give them a chance. And this is the final result of my test. It was the first time I tried these paints. They are quite interesting. The features are many, and I think there are also more applications. Every medium needs to be explored to show its full potential. This set is targeted for beginners and advanced, but I suggest to use it without water at first, because they are already at the perfect dilution. So if you add water, you risk to lose the nice properties that they have supposed to have. So it will be fun. I highly recommend you to try them. But I think it's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for your attention, and bye bye.